Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as teach well. And also peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the title of this video is going to be Change is Going to Come. Alright, change is going to come. Okay, and real quick, I have the etymology of the word change from etymonline.com. It says change in the verb sense. Okay, change. It says 1200 century. It says to alter, make different, change. Okay, it says early 13th century as to substitute one for another. Okay, so as it went into, change means to alter something or make something different, and then it also goes into to substitute one thing for another. Okay, and it continues to say as to make something other than what it was, cause to turn or pass from one state to another. It says from late 13th century as to become different, be altered. All right, to change, alter, exchange, switch. Okay, switch. Then it goes into the Latin, from late Latin, cambiar, which means to barter or exchange. Extended form of cambiar, which means to exchange or barter. All right. So as we can see, change, this word, the etymology of the word change, it goes into altering something or making something different. But as it also went into, it means to substitute one thing for another, or to switch something. All right, to switch something out. Okay, and that's exactly what Yahweh Shemel Shah is getting ready to do concerning the rulership of the world. The Lord is getting ready to change, all right, to change who's going to rule over His earth. All right, because right now the earth is given into the hand of the wicked Esau Edom, who is known in the scriptures as the border of wickedness, pursuant to Malachi 1 verse 4. And ever since Esau has taken over the whole entire compass of the earth, starting with the so-called Renaissance period of the late 1300s going into the 1400s, all right, where basically Esau came out of the caves of Europe, the caves of the Caucasus Mountains, all right, and those of our people that were ruling throughout Russia and Europe and whatnot, the Moors and stuff like that, they were basically teaching the Edomites how to be civilized and how to bathe and how to eat proper and how to have proper hygiene and things like that, how to take care of themselves, basically teaching them how to be human all over again. And since those times, all right, when our forefathers basically helped put these Edomites back on their feet, so to speak, during the beginning of the so-called Renaissance period, what did the Edomites do from that point going forward? Started taking over Russia, started taking over parts of Europe, where our forefathers were ruling in during the so-called Dark Ages, right? The 1,000-year period, all right, where our forefathers ruled over Europe and Russia. Basically the Edomites started coming into power over those regions, Europe, Russia, all right. Started, whitewashing all the so-called black icons that our forefathers set up in Europe during the Dark Ages. Okay, started setting up themselves as church fathers and this, that, and the third. Okay, taking over seats of power in Rome and taking over particular monarchies and dynasties in Rome. All right, and all that grape robbery and murder and wickedness and deception has ultimately led to what we see today as America, NATO, and the EU. Okay, which is the fourth beast system, the revival of the fourth beast system, shall I say, spoken of in Daniel 7. All right, and since Esau came up during the so-called Renaissance period of the 1300s, 1400s, etc., up until now, okay, where he's basically ruled over the whole entire earth. All right, what has Esau been doing with the earth? Just absolutely defiling it, destroying it, corrupting it, polluting it. Okay, destroying the air, destroying the water, destroying the food, and using all these things to destroy the people as well as the animals and the environment and things like that. Destroy, cutting down all the trees. Okay, a lot of the fruits and the vegetables today, as of 2024, don't have the same amount of nutrients as fruits and vegetables back in the 80s and the 90s and even before then. All right, this man has helped weaken the earth, and in return, due to this man weakening the earth through all of his wickedness and pseudoscience and whatnot, is weakening the people and it's destroying the people. All right, like it says in Sirach the 10th chapter, an unwise king destroyed his people. You know, this devil has been ruling the earth in these last days with no wisdom. Okay, no wisdom or fear of the Lord. Which, you know, we know that in the scriptures the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All right, and this devil has shown no fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, and therefore is resulted in him, okay, ruling over the earth with no wisdom. All right, forwarding nothing but folly and idol worship and basically Satanism throughout the earth. All right, so therefore, in these latter days, as you know, the apostles and various elder brothers at GMS always, always say from time to time, this earth needs new management. Okay, the rulership of the earth needs to be changed. All right, and we know ultimately the rulership of the earth is going to be changed into the hands of Yahweh Shai and the elect, starting with the 144,000. All right, the tabernacle of David. Okay, so as we read, this word change in the etymology, it goes into to substitute one thing for another, as well as switch. Okay, to switch something out. All right, now, as a matter of fact, let's go here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8, And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, born of Isaac, all right, which you can read about that in Genesis the 25th chapter. All right, Isaac had Esau and Jacob, Esau being the firstborn, and it says, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Okay, Jacob's hand, our forefather Jacob, his hand, as Esau and then Jacob came out of the womb of Rebekah, the wife of Isaac. All right, as Esau came out of the womb first, making Esau the technical firstborn. All right, as I just said, Jacob's hand held the heel of Esau. You know, Jacob came out right afterwards. You see, and Jacob's hand holding the heel of Esau is symbolic. Okay, symbolic of what would happen here in these end times. Okay, and verse 9 is going to go into it. It says, 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so Jacob's hand holding on to the heel of Esau is symbolic of, okay, Esau will be the biblical nation ruling over the earth in these latter days, okay, in these end times, and then Jacob's rulership would would begin right after the Edomites and their rulership and their blessing gets taken down. Okay, because that's where we're at right now. We're at the latter end, the last days of Esau, Edom, and his blessing being in his blessing, which is what? The fatness of the earth via the sword, which you can read about that in Genesis the 27th chapter. Okay, our forefather Isaac okay, bless Esau with the fatness of the earth, in the dew of heaven, by way of the sword, okay, by way of, warfare and violence and military power and guns and tanks and missiles and rockets, okay, warheads, all these things. We're in the last days of Esau fulfilling out his blessing, and you best believe the elites of Esau Edom know this as well. That's why, with all this truth that's going out, okay, all this inquisition that it speaks of when you read later on in this chapter, okay, where it talks about, inquisition being made on the earth in the latter days. Through all this truth and all this inquisition going out, and this man being exposed and Esau being made bare, okay, he knows that he's at the end of his rulership, and that's why he's getting ready to come down with great wrath, because he knows that he only has a short time left to rule over the earth, okay, before the Lord Yahweh Shai sets Jacob up in his blessing, okay, which when you read in Genesis 27, Jacob was also blessed with the fatness of the earth, okay, and that all nations would bow down and serve Jacob, all right, through Yahweh Shai. You see? From there, let's go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, and let's start from verse 23. Daniel 7, verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. All right. And if you understand Daniel, the 7th chapter, the four beasts that it speaks of in Daniel 7, okay, the first beast being the Assyrian Babylonian Empire, the second beast being the Persian and Mede Empire, the third beast or third empire being the ancient Greek Empire, and then the fourth beast is the ancient Roman Empire, the ancient Western Roman Empire, okay, and then as we're gonna read right here, is going to go into a particular horn that came out of the fourth beast that will basically be the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, so Daniel 7 verse 23 again. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. All right, the ancient Roman Empire, and it says, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. All right, and how was ancient Rome diverse from the previous kingdoms and previous empires that ruled before it? Well, ancient Rome started off being ruled by or governed by its senate. Okay, its senate, which is basically when you go into the senate, it was basically a body of men or a group of men, okay, who governed over Rome through the Constitution of ancient Rome. Okay, just like today here in America, you have a Senate as well as a Constitution. Okay, where you have all your different amendments and whatnot. Well, all that stuff goes back to ancient Rome. Ancient Rome had a Senate, and ancient Rome had a Constitution which governed its Senate. Okay, which therefore governed Rome. Okay, whereas the previous empires before Rome, they all had what? Monarchies and dynasties, okay, where they basically had kings, and when those kings would die, the kingship would be passed down to their sons, okay, and so on and so forth. That's what the empires before Rome had. But once ancient Rome came into power, they had a senate which governed their empire until eventually around about either 27 BC or 31 BC, eventually Rome became an empire where it was ruled by an emperor or Caesar. Okay, was the first Caesar of the official ancient Roman Empire was Augustus Caesar. Okay, Augustus Caesar, which started his reign in about I believe 27 BC. Okay, or 31 BC out. Okay, give or take. It's one of those two dates. All right, but nonetheless, ancient Rome was diverse from all the previous kingdoms that ruled before it, because Rome wasn't ruled by a monarchy, okay, a traditional monarchy. It started off being ruled by its senate, All right. Then eventually, it became ruled by emperors or Caesars, and therefore that officially started the beginning of, Rome being an empire when it began to be ruled by emperors or Caesars. Okay. So it says again, Daniel 7:23, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Okay? And at that time, 2,000 years ago, did ancient Rome, rule over the whole entire compass of the earth? No. Okay, it only ruled over particular regions in the Eastern world. Okay, regions upon North Africa, different regions throughout the Middle East, including the Holy Land. They ruled over Syria, north of Israel. They ruled over the regions of Assyria, which today is modern day Turkey, and then they ruled further east towards the regions where the Persian and Mede Empire ruled over, which today, would be modern day India, Iran. All right, they ruled over, the region of Babylon, which today will be known as Iraq. All right, and they ruled all over what we know today as Europe. Okay, that was basically the regions of the earth where the ancient Roman Empire ruled over. So the fact that this fourth beast, which is ancient Rome, is said in prophecy to rule over the whole entire earth, okay, that will come at a later time. All right, eventually it will be fulfilled, and this time through America, NATO, and the EU, which is the revival of the fourth beast system, the revival of the ancient Roman empire. So it says, verse 24, Daniel 7:24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. Okay, and the 10 horns basically going into, all right, back in ancient Rome, those 10 horns were basically vassal states that ruled with ancient Rome, okay, which didn't have a particular empire of their own per se, but they basically acted as support states or support regions for ancient Rome itself, to flourish and rule over the known world at that time. Today, these 10 horns are known as the different countries throughout NATO and the EU. Okay, which, all right, NATO in particular, NATO is basically set up to help America rule and help the United States dominate the world. Okay, militarily, financially, all right, politically. Okay. So it says again, Daniel 7:24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. Okay, and this other horn that shall arise after them is talking about America, Babylon the Great. Okay, the United States of America. And it says again, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Okay, and the 3 kings or kingdoms that America, the United States, had to subdue in order to officially come into power were the Spanish, the French, and the British. Okay, basically going into that history of the 1700s and the 1800s here in what we know today as the United States. Okay, basically in order for the United States to become a power in the earth, they had to subdue the 3 pretty much European countries that had a hand in this place. The Spanish, the French, and the British. Because when you go into the history of the United States, going all the way back to the 1500s and the 1600s and whatnot, all right, pretty much this whole entire landmass known as the United States was ruled over by 3 different European countries that had dominion over particular regions of this country. You had the Spanish, which ruled primarily over the western United States, states such as California and Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. Okay, then you had the British, which had dominion over primarily the East Coast of the United States, especially the so-called New England states. Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all the way down to the Carolinas. You see, and even certain states in the Southeast. All right, just as even the Spanish had they had control over particular states in the Southeast, such as Florida. All right, the state of Florida. All right, and then you had the French, which had rulership over particular states along the central part of the United States. Okay, which you can read about that in the so-called Louisiana Purchase. Okay, where the French had dominion over certain particular states and regions across the Midwest and whatnot. All the way down to Louisiana, which is heavily engulfed in French culture. But pretty much, the main point is, in order for the United States to fully come into its power, it had to subdue all those three European powerhouses. Okay, the Spanish, the French, and then eventually the British, which is where America comes out of, the British. So it says, verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And how is America speaking great words against Yahweh Shemashai? Through its pseudoscience, its false education, its technology, all right, its news media, NASA, its pharmakeia, the music industry, the television, the entertainment industry, the sports, all right, all the religions, okay, these churches, all these different political movements and whatnot, the politics, all right, everything that this country is all about is all blasphemy against Yahweh Shema Shai. And as it said, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Okay, and of course, who are the saints? The Israelites. And how has this place, America, worn out the Lord's people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, through polluting the foods, polluting the air, polluting the water, putting us in some of the worst living conditions, having us live in the worst neighborhoods in this country, okay, where there's no trees at, there's factories all around Jake's neighborhoods, putting up all types of smog and pollution into the air, destroying Jake, okay, putting up all these fast food restaurants, all in Jake's neighborhoods, McDonald's, Popeyes, Church's Chicken, Burger King, okay, Sonic, and enticing Jake to eat all these abominable foods, okay, and just absolutely destroying Jake, all right, and not to mention setting up churches all throughout Jake's neighborhoods that offer no solutions to their condition, and all these things Esau has set up to wear out the saints, to wear out so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, okay, and it says, and think to change times and laws. You got daylight savings, okay, and his devil is constantly changing laws every year in this country, and he's especially going against the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai via the Holy Scriptures. Why you think moles have so many rights in this country? The alphabet agenda. Why you think slowly but surely, the whole pedo lifestyle is being normalized and put in people's faces slowly but surely, okay? And then not to mention the whole Planned Parenthood. That's blatantly against the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai in the scriptures. Hey, but guess what? This devil, his whole entire system will be to speak great words against Yahweh Shema Shai and commit great things against Yahweh Shema Shai. You see? By doing what? Changing times and the laws. And it says, and they shall be given into his hand, talking about the Israelites, until a times, and the dividing of times. Okay, and real quick, let's read 25 in the NLT. Daniel 7 and 25 in the NLT. He will defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High. You see, this devil is in all-out defiance against Yahweh Shemashai. All-out anti-Messiah ungodly activity going on in this man's rulership, especially here in Babylon the Great. That's why in Revelation 11 and 8, the scriptures refers to this place as spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt, where you have all types of rebellion and enslavement and oppression against the Lord's people, alphabet agenda, okay? And as it says, where our Lord was crucified, all types of anti-Messiah, left-hand satanic energy in this place, and all our defiance against Yahweh Shemashai and against his people. And it says, he will try to change their sacred festivals, beating our heritage out of us, discontinuing us from our heritage, and forcing us to serve Christianity and Roman Catholicism, and celebrate Christmas and Easter and all these things. And it says, and laws, okay? And they will be placed under his control for a time, times, and a half times. And ultimately, that times, and a half a time is talking about the 350 year period, or also known in Revelation the 11th chapter as the 3.5 days. Okay, where for that 350 year period, from 1619 up until the late 1960s, we were without the Holy Spirit. We had no connection with Yahweh Shemashai. We had our heritage and our culture just flat out beaten out of us, and his devil was just having his way with us, enslaving us, popping our women, popping our children, separating our families, okay, forcing us to bow down to so-called white Jesus and Christianity, eat abominable foods, okay, didn't allow us to learn how to read and write, and be sovereign and build cities and all these things. All right, this man just flat out had his way with us during that 350 year period. Okay, there's times and a half of times that it's speaking of. But then, verse 26 in the KJV, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. Verse 26 in the NLT, but then the court will pass judgment. Okay, and that's talking about the courts in the heavens. All right, where you have the Most High Yahweh, the ultimate judge. You see, then you have Yahweh Shai, which is our intercessor, our mediator, our lawyer in the heavens, pleading for the elect. Okay, for the elected to be exonerated in the Most High's heavenly court. Okay, but it says again, verse 26 in the NLT, but then the court will pass judgment. Yeah, and why will the Most High's heavenly court pass judgment upon the revival of this fourth beast system in America? Because after that time and a half, that 350 year period, the elect would receive the Holy Spirit from on high, okay, and preach this word, the everlasting gospel, throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and preach a testimony throughout the earth, exposing who the wicked is, exposing Esau, Edom, and all of his wickedness and evil and his lies and his deception, his pseudoscience, okay, making Esau a bear. And through all this truth going out by the Lord's men preaching the gospel, it would ultimately lead to the Lord, okay, passing judgment upon his devil, destroying him with the brightness of his coming, as it says in 2 Thessalonians 2. So Daniel 7 and 26 again, but then the court will pass judgment, and all his power will be taken away and completely destroyed. This devil is going to take this man out of his rulership, okay, through Yahweh Shai, his right hand, all right, and destroy this beast system, especially primarily America, Babylon the Great, where the Lord is going to turn this place into a lake of fire in the Third World War. You see, in verse 27, Daniel 7 and 27, and the kingdom and dominion And the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. 27 in the NLT. Then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be given to the holy people of the Most High. And who is that? The Israelites. Okay, starting with the elect, starting with the 144,000. But most importantly, starting with the Yahushua first and foremost. Okay, who has the preeminence over, okay, all the dominion and the glory and the blessings that the Lord is going to give to his people. It's all going to start with Yahushua, of course. You see? So, as verse 27 is going into, it's basically going into what? A change. A change in rulership over the earth. A change in dominion over the earth. A change in, okay, who's going to have the kingdom on the planet earth. You see? And that change is going to go to the holy people of Yahweh Shema Shai, the Israelites, starting with Yahweh Shai and the 144,000, the tabernacle of David. Okay, verse 27 again. Then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be given to the holy people of the Most High. His kingdom will last forever, and all rulers will serve and obey him. You see? And that's the type of power that's coming to Yahweh Shai and the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. Okay? Because here it is, Esau's trying to do this for himself on the left hand side through, so-called new, all right, world order, NWO, all right. But guess what? As the scripture speaks about, the Most High is going to make his plans fail. Okay, the Most High is going to make the elites of Esau, Edom's plans fail. That their hands cannot perform their enterprise, roughly paraphrasing it. All right. And the real new world order, so to speak, the true world order is going to be given to Yahweh Shai and 144,000. That's the change that's getting ready to come to the planet Earth. Because clearly when you look throughout the earth, when you look on the news, when you look at current events and things happening around the world, you can clearly see and feel that something big is getting ready to happen on the earth. All right, major changes are getting ready to happen in everyday life. All right, but the Esau Edom on the left hand side, the change that they're trying to accomplish is basically the NWO, where they want to establish Satan's kingdom on the earth through AI and technology and putting everybody on a digital grid through digital IDs and social credit systems, which is ultimately going to Esau is going to try to fulfill that in the Charagma, the Revelation 13 and 16 on down. You see, but hey, as the scripture speaks about, the Most High is going to make Esau's plans fail, that his hands cannot perform their enterprise. And ultimately, the true world order that the Lord is going to establish on the earth is Yahweh Shai and 144,000, the tabernacle of David. Okay? That's the true change that's going to come to the earth, because that's the true change that needs to come to the earth. A righteous rulership, a righteous government governing over the earth via the law, statutes, commandments. You see? Let's get this. Sirach 10 and verse 7, it says, pride is hateful before the Most High Yahweh and man. You see, and that's where Esau is at right now, the height of his pride. Although at the same time, the scriptures says in Isaiah 47, he's wearied with the multitude of his counsel. Okay, because through this word going out and all this truth going out throughout the internet, exposing his agenda and exposing his elite, he's wearied, and he's he's wearied, and he knows that the heat is on him, and he knows that great inquisition is being made against him in these latter days. But guess what? The Lord has still hardened his heart to where he's still proud, because he thinks that through his pseudoscience and his AI, and through CERN and NASA and all these different, scientists and engineers on the left hand side that he has set up, he thinks that somehow he can overthrow the judgment of Yahweh Shemashai and remain in his power. Okay, this devil, he even has plans to literally fight against Yahweh Shai and the holy angels when Yahweh Shai makes his return. So this devil, as it says in Obadiah, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, talking about Esau, Edom. And so, as it's saying right here in Sirach 10:7, pride is hateful before the Most High Yahweh Bashmal Shai and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Yeah, and this man Esau, Edom, through his pride, he's committed all types of iniquities throughout the four corners of the earth here in these latter days. Okay, going back to the time of the Renaissance up until now. All right, he's committed non-stop iniquity upon iniquity, all because of his pride. All right, all because he knows that he's in his blessing, and he's going to do everything in his power to stay in his blessing, even fight against the Lord himself that gave him his blessing in the first place, Yahweh Shai. So it says, verse 8, Sirach 10, verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, blaspheming the Most High, speaking great words against the Most High, wearing out the saints, changing the times and the laws, right? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay, so because this man has done all this wickedness in the earth in his latter days, okay, to ultimately fulfill prophecy, of course, all right, but nonetheless, because this man has done all this wickedness in the earth in the latter days, all right, blaspheming Yahweh Shema Shai, wearing out the saints, destroying the earth, changing the times, changing the laws and whatnot, promoting all types of wickedness, the Lord is going to take the kingdom of the earth, okay, rulership over the fatness of the earth, out of the hands of this devil and translate it into the hands of his people, okay, starting with, of course, Yahweh Shai and the elect, starting with the 144,000 within the elect, the tabernacle of David. And let's look up that word translate. Right, this is the etymology of the word translate off of etymonline.com. This is the verb definition of this word. Okay, so the word translate, it says from early 14th century, to remove from one place to another, also to turn from one language to another. Okay, says from the Latin translatus, which means carried over, serving as past particle of transfer, which means to bring over or carry over. All right. All right, yeah. So, translate, to remove from one place to another, or to turn from one language to another, basically is another word for change. You see, another word for change. So as I said, again in Sirach 10 verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Yeah, so the kingdom, meaning rulership over the earth, the fatness of the earth, is changed out of the hands, or substituted, right, as we read earlier, is changed or translated out of the hands of one people and into the hands of another people, okay, which is the nation of Israel, starting with Yahweh Shai and the elect, okay, most specifically starting with the 144,000 within the elect, the 1/3 remnant, okay, the tabernacle of David, which the tabernacle of David is going to serve as the governing body under Yahweh Shai in the kingdom of heaven, okay, that's going to change this earth back to righteousness, back to his natural state again, through the law, statutes, commandments being forwarded throughout the four corners of the earth. You see? So that's ultimately the change that's getting ready to come. All right, y'all. Esau, Edom being taken down out of his rulership, and Yahushua and 144,000, okay, being given dominion and rulership and sovereignty over the earth. All right, and then which the rest of the nation of Israel is going to follow suit in that blessing as well, after the elect. Okay, after Yahushua. All right. So Lord willing, this video is edifying, and until next time, shalom.